Welcome back, TUT team. Coach Connor here, taking you through today's TUT training session. Today's session is all about recovery, and we're focusing on the hips, all right? If you're a desk jockey and you're sitting up all day long, this session is for you, all right? Really, it's for anyone because all of us need to make sure that our hips are loosened up here, okay? So we're gonna be working on our hip flexors, we're gonna be working on all angles of our hips, and all you need for today's class is to have your yoga mat, all right? A little towel, a little water if you want it. We wanna have access to our super bands here, all right? And we also wanna get ourselves set up with our waistband, all right, set up, already looped in, okay, at our bottom connection point with medium to heavy TUT plate resistance, okay? So I've got 30 pounds aside on my TUT plate. I've got my waistband, my belt loop here, already set up, locked in, ready to go. We'll be using that in about 15 minutes, all right? So give you a moment to get that set up. And when you're ready, you're gonna meet me down on your mat here and we're gonna jump right into it, okay? Stretching is so important, right? Pre-workout, post-workout, do it daily, all right? If you can stretch for 15 minutes a day, you are way ahead of the game, all right? So important to get ourselves set up for success for each and every one of our workouts and of course to recover as well, all right? So we've got our waistband, we've got our super bands handy, all right? For the next 25 minutes or so, we're gonna be stretching out those hips in every angle possible, okay? So meet me in a downward dog position here, all right? We're gonna start off nice and simple. In that downward dog position, I want you to send your hips up towards the sky. Just pedal those feet out a few times and give your hips a bit of a shake to the left and a shake to the right there as we send our hips out. And then we're going to lift on the inhale, the right heel up to the sky and draw that right knee right behind the right hand. And we're gonna be in our figure four or our pigeon stretch. And from the front, we'll be in this position right here, all right? Now from here, I want you to take a nice big inhale and then exhale and start to fold your opposite shoulder across towards the knee as you sit down into your stretch. And big inhale and exhale, fold across. You should start to feel this on the outside of your hip here, on our front leg. I've got my right leg forward right now. One more time, big inhale. Exhale, draw that shoulder across to the opposite knee. And then I'm gonna come back up, all right? I'm gonna tuck my back toe, lift the back knee, and get back into my downward dog position. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. My left leg is going up towards the sky, left foot behind the right hand, left knee behind the left hand. And then for my nice proud chest position, big inhale and exhale and drop the right shoulder across towards the left knee as I get deeper into it on every exhale. Big inhale, big exhale, fold across. Big inhale up, exhale, fold across. Good. Big inhale and exhale. And I'm gonna lift my back leg, back knee, step the foot back, downward dog. I'm gonna get into that again, all right? So right leg is gonna go up towards the sky, big inhale. Exhale to bring it through and sit into it. Nice proud chest. And then opposite shoulders coming across to the opposite knee. And back up, big inhale. Exhale, a little bit of a twist there. Good. One more breath, big inhale, big exhale, and coming across. Hands gonna come back to center. I'm gonna tuck my back toe, lift my back knee, lift up the hip, step the right foot back, and pedal those feet out. And we'll go again on that left side. Left heel up towards the sky, big inhale, and then exhale as I drop the left knee behind the left hand there, and bring it down and try to get that nice little twist. Big inhale, and right shoulder's gonna drop across, right towards that left knee. Good. Big inhale, big exhale, fold it across. One more time, big inhale, big exhale, fold it across. Good. All right, now from here, I want you to just have a seat. Swing both legs around in front of you. Okay, now spread the feet slightly. You're gonna tuck your right leg so the shin is parallel to the long edge of your mat, and then take your left leg and tuck it so it is perpendicular to the long edge of your mat here, okay? Or this is our 90-90, okay? From our 90-90 hip position here, all right, we're gonna do the same fold, big inhale, and then exhale as I drop the left shoulder across over towards the right knee. And as I sit into that, as I breathe into that, I'm gonna big exhale into my right hip here. And across, big inhale. Exhale, folding down. Again, there's no prize for touching the floor. Nobody wins at stretching. There's no competition here. Wherever you're at is fantastic. It's perfect. As long as you're getting that stretch. One more big inhale. And exhale, cross. And slowly coming back up. All right, now from here, all right, you can either rotate all the way across, okay, to our other side, or, all right, to simplify things slightly, come back to that front position, bring our left shin parallel to the long edge of our mat. Right knee's gonna be behind the left heel, all right, back into that 90-90, and then big inhale, sitting tall, and exhale, coming across. Good. Big inhale coming up. Exhale, right shoulder towards the left knee, and drop it down. All about finding a breath and staying in our breath here. Good. Now, in a lot of our classes, right, I'm telling you to push through the pain, give me another rep, push it even harder. When we get to a recovery, we want to settle into the stretch. We want to ease into that stretch. We want to push the comfort zone slightly, but not to the point of pain. Good. Big inhale one more time. Exhale and across. And if you want to try our little fancy transition here from a seated position, you're going to lift the right knee, lift the left knee, come across, and then go across the other side. All right, I'll swing that around from our seated position here. Right knee lifts up, left knee lifts up, and now I'm back and set across to do my right side one more time. Left shoulder. And if that looks like a magic trick and you got lost, no problem. Straighten the legs out, come back to center. Find that front shin parallel to the edge of the mat and make our way back to this 90-90 as we fold over and across the knee. Big inhale and exhale. Bring it down and across. One more breath. Big inhale. Big exhale. Drop it down. Nice and deep into that stretch. Nice work. And from here, we come back to our sitting position. We lift the left knee, lift the right knee. We rotate across, and we're right back into it on the other side, okay? Again, straighten your legs if you need to. Get myself centered here. Big inhale, big exhale, and drop that right shoulder towards the left knee and back up. All right, now really, it doesn't necessarily have to always be across. We can come in front. We can actually come across to the other direction. It's wherever you feel that nice sticky point. All right, it's gonna be different for everybody. Generally speaking, if we come in across towards the knee, you're definitely gonna feel that stretch. You could fold right over in the front and the center. Big inhale, big exhale. One more breath, big inhale and exhale. Good. All right, now we're gonna get into the 90-90 rocking back and forth into the windshield wipers. So again, all right, one shin is gonna come front edge of the mat here, all right? And then we're going to lift one knee, lift the other knee, and a rock over to the other side. You can have your hands down for support if necessary, up and over, and other side, okay? Now, as I bring my right knee down in this instance, I'm gonna give a nice little internal rotation there, all right, little push into the ground so I feel the inside of my hip. And I'm gonna lift it up and come to the other side, and up, and other side, all right? And maybe we do this with our hands off the ground. Good. Our next progression here is to sit down and then come up and extend. All right, now as I extend, I'm gonna squeeze my glutes, drive my hips forward, big squeeze, open up the hips. I'm gonna sit back down and roll back the other direction. Again, I can have my hands down if necessary, roll back to the other direction. All right, and from here, I'm gonna lift my hips up and drive my hips forward, open up the front of the hips there, sitting down, rotating across, left knee, then right knee. Trying to keep our hands off the ground. Drive up and squeeze. Good. And not a problem. We can have our hands down, windshield wiper those knees, and across. We can have our hands to assist us as we come up. And maybe we lift the hands up the top there. Okay, let's go one more time on each side here. Sitting down, windshield wiper those knees across, finding that 90-90 again. And instead of folding over, we're gonna lift up and squeeze the glutes. Actively tuck your tail between your legs, send your hips across the room. Nice proud chest. Open up the hips here, sitting down and shake it out. Good. All right, we're gonna swing those legs around to the other side here. We're gonna have our knees nice and wide. I want you to think child's pose, all right, in yoga, or we're gonna have the instep of our feet down, our toes pointed out towards the sides of the room, all right? And now from this position here, I'm going to rock my hips back into this groiner stretch. Big inhale, exhale, as I sink back into it, okay? And from the side, nice wide stance, big inhale, exhale, drop the hips. Good. Inhale, I'm gonna send my shoulders forward, hips come forward, release, and exhale, and try to get 1 inch, 1 centimeter, 1 aorta, whatever it is, just a little bit deeper. Big inhale, big exhale. Good. All right, wherever you're at, give me 3 more breaths. Big inhale, rock forward. Exhale, rock it back. And maybe we come down onto our forearms and press the floor away gently. And maybe you're a little or a lot more flexible than coach, and you have the arms fully extended here. And we're dropping our hips back towards our heels. Rock ourselves forward and drop it back. It's all about finding and keeping our breath here. Let's go one more time. Wherever you're at, big inhale forward. Exhale, drop it back. Sit back towards those heels and just breathe. Good. And I'm gonna come back to face all of you guys here. You're gonna stay right where you are in that wide stretch, okay? And from this position here, I'm now gonna think about dropping my right hip towards the floor on one side to emphasize that stretch on the inner groin there into our adductors, and then I'm going to drop the other hip towards the floor. All right, so I'm dropping my right hip towards the floor here. I'm actively pushing this hip down towards the ground, a slight rotation of my torso to get a little deeper into that stretch, and then up and over, and other side. I'm just gonna rock back and forth, nice and gentle, as much as I can bear, as much as I can handle. Big inhale, exhale, breathing into it. Good. And maybe it starts to become a bit of a flow as you rock back towards your heels and drop the hip towards the side. It's almost like I'm making a little C shape as I drop back and around and back and around. Good. Let's go one more on each side. Big inhale. Big exhale. Last one. Big inhale. Big exhale. And lift those knees up. Oh, right all the way up into the groin there. All right, now is the time to grab our TUT bands here. All right, doesn't really matter which band you use, both will work. If you don't have a band, you can grab a towel, all right, a big long shirt, as long as you have enough room to take that band and bring it over top of the shoulder, okay? So we're gonna get into a half kneeling position here. All right, I'm gonna fold the mat over all right? One time, just to create a little more cushion for my knee there, all right? I'm gonna undo the band, and I'm gonna place my foot on the inside of my band, all right? From there, I come down onto my knee. So I've got the band in my right foot. I'm gonna bring the band over top of the shoulder, and I'm gonna start to hand over hand, pull that band into my half kneeling position here, okay? All right, so what we're doing, you might have heard of a couch stretch before, where we have our foot up on a couch, on a chair, elevated up against anything here. You can do this with a band just as well, all right? I want you to squeeze this glute here, squeeze, and think about opening the hip and pushing the hip forward. You're gonna get into your quad, you're gonna get into your hip flexor here, all the anterior aspect of your hip. And as we exhale, maybe we can tighten the band slightly. And for a little added bonus, a little added stretch, you can think about kicking into the band gently, and it's really gonna light up the front of your hip there. Big inhale, and just breathe. Good. Nice proud chest. Again, if you have a towel, as long as it's long enough, the towel works. You just have to have enough room, all right? And you can always simply use your hand as well, okay? If that's all that you have available to you. Let's hold for 15 seconds, big inhale. Big exhale, squeeze that right glute, kick into the band gently. Good, breathe through it. And to release, I'm just gonna slowly lower my foot down towards the floor and relax. Good. Do the same thing on the other side here, okay? So I'm gonna put my left foot in to the band here, all right? And then I'm going to come down into my half kneeling position. I'm gonna take that band, I'm gonna bring it around and up and over the shoulder. All right, so that band is now right across my laces. All right, and then I'm gonna start to pull that band over top of the shoulder here. Bring that front foot so you get a vertical front shin. And then I start to tuck my hips underneath, start to squeeze that left glute, driving the hip forward. Maybe we inch a little more into that stretch. Good, all right. Now from here, we can just hang out. Maybe that's enough. All right, maybe we add a squeeze of the glute. Maybe we push the hips forward slightly. Maybe we kick into the band gently and feel even more into the front of that left hip. Good. Breathe into it. Again, you can always use the black band instead, all right? If you happen to have both, it's gonna be a lot easier, a lot faster to find that maximum tension there for your stretch. With that black band, the red one will work just as fine. Deep breath in. As your muscles start to relax, we can get a little more range of motion. Deep breath, good. One more deep breath in. Good, and then slowly, you wanna release that band and that foot back down to the ground. So when you're doing your stretches, okay, at least 30 seconds, preferably upwards of a minute, okay? You can go through each stretch multiple times. Take that band, put it off towards the side. All right, now from here, I'm gonna stay in that half kneeling stance. All right, so come back to that half kneeling stance for me. Arbitrarily, I've got my right knee down, I got my left foot forward. I'm gonna step that left foot forward slightly farther and bring my hands to the inside of the leg, and then I'm gonna lift the back knee. Now from here, I'm going to brace myself on my right hand, turn onto the outside of my left foot, and gently start to open up the knee. Now I can have my back knee down, that works just as fine. And gently I'm gonna open up outside of the hip there. You might feel that on the inside as well, depending on where you're at. And it could be with my forearm, it could be with my hand, and I'm gently, big inhale, turning to the outside of my left foot here and extending that out. Good. Now from here, take a nice deep breath in. Switch your feet. Hands are down. Right foot comes forward. Left knee comes down. come onto my left hand. My right hand's gonna push the inside of my knee out as I come to the outside of my right foot. And start to gently push. The back knee can either be elevated off the ground or on the ground. Whatever feels good to you. Big inhale and exhale. We're gonna go one more time on each side here. Big inhale, big exhale. And maybe that hand comes a little bit closer. We can get a little more rotation to the outside there. You'll notice that my left hip is much, much tighter than my right. To have these types of imbalances is totally normal. So maybe, right? For me, I'm gonna spend a little extra time on my left side. Maybe I'll give it a few extra reps to try to fix that imbalance as best I can. Big inhale, turning onto the outside of the left foot. Exhale, and drive it out. Big inhale, exhale, drive it out. Good. And from here, maybe I start to lower the chest just gently down towards the floor. Good. One more inhale. Exhale. And then gently bring my foot flat to the floor, both hands down. Lift that back knee. If it was down, step the feet back. I like to give a little down dog in between. And then I step the right foot out, turn onto the right edge of the foot, and start to open up on the right side there. And maybe here, big inhale, exhale, start to bring the chest towards the floor perhaps. Inhale. And exhale. One more deep breath in. Exhale, let it out. Gently release the hand to the floor. Come back. Bring that knee back in. Bring that foot down. Step the right foot back. And shake out those legs. Good. All right, so we're going to now get into some distraction stretching. All right. It's also sometimes called flossing. All right. It's just a fancy way of increasing the stretch. All right. So the head of our femur, okay, our big leg bone in here, a lot of times it gets jammed to the front. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take our waistband, we're gonna wrap it around the front of our hip, we're gonna help pull that femur back posteriorly, okay, into the hip socket. And we're gonna do the same thing going each way, okay? So with our waistband, you're gonna step the right foot in. Again, we have medium to heavy on our TUT plates there. Gentlemen, make sure you tuck everything that needs to be tucked off to the side, all right? And then I'm going to inch my way out. And as soon as this is up right nice and high into the hip crease here, okay? Now from this position here, I'm gonna get into my half kneeling stretch. I've got the waistband is now pulling back away, again from the side, right up into that hip crease. All right, now from here, I'm going to tuck the tail between my legs, squeeze that right glute, and then with my whole body start to shift forward and hold it. Waistband is the distraction, is pulling the head of my femur back towards my trainer. And then a gentle release. Inhale. Exhale. Push it forward. Push your hips forwards. Tuck the tail between your legs. Big squeeze. Really start to feel this open up the front of the hip. Oh, it's like, feels like it's almost ripping it apart in a nice stretching manner, that is. One last inhale. Exhale. Again, 30 to 60 seconds is recommended. You can go as many rounds as you want. Big inhale. Big exhale. And we're gonna stay on this right hip now, but we're gonna bring it back in. We're gonna turn ourselves around, okay? So now I'm gonna have my left foot forward. I'm gonna bring the waistband up right underneath the glute there. I'm gonna come back, and then from this position, let me move over to the side here so y'all can see exactly what's going on. Left foot's forward. Now, my TUT tower here is pulling the head of my femur anteriorly here, and this is gonna help get the stretch in the front as well, okay? And from here, I might lean forward into it. This is helping me stretch, really open up the front of the hip. And then I'll gently release. I'm gonna push away with my front foot and then let the waistband start to pull me in. I'm gonna lean with my body as well, okay? So it's not just the hips. Wherever you feel that nice deep stretch, and then come back and do the same thing. Now, if you have a pillar or a beam in your apartment or wherever you're doing your TUT sessions, you can do this same exercise with your super bands as well. The waistband's gonna be nice and comfortable. We get the added weight here, which is perfect, but you can do this with your TUT bands as well. Big inhale, big exhale, letting the waistband pull my femur to the front side, front edge of my hip socket there, opening up everything in the front of my hip. Good, and relax, good. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So carefully make your way back to a standing position. Oof, maybe on your right side there. Give me a few hip circles. Say hello to that newfound range of motion, all right? And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So I'm gonna step in with my left foot. I'm gonna face away from my TUT trainer here. I'm gonna hike it up right into the crease there. Again, gentlemen, tuck it to the side. And I'm gonna get into that half kneeling position. All right, and then from here, I'm gonna be fighting against the waistband as I tuck, squeeze that left glute, and then start to lean forward. And it's gonna pull my femur back into the back edge of my hip socket there, good. Breathe into it, big inhale. Exhale, drive forward. All right, it's not about how far forward you get again. There's no medals here. There's no winning in stretching. So wherever you're at is perfect. I'm gonna go for 2 more breaths here. Inhale, I'm gonna let that release. And exhale, I'm gonna send the hips forward, squeeze that left glute this time. And let it go. One more breath cycle here. Big inhale, big exhale. Drive it forward and through, squeezing that left glute. Leaning into it gently. Good. All right, let's pull it the other way, shall we? So I'm gonna gently make my way back. All right, I'm gonna turn around, whoop, flip around to the other side here. I'm gonna have my left knee down, my right foot forward. Waistband is right underneath, right where my glute meets my hamstring. All right, put my right foot forward, and then I'm gonna let the waistband and my TUT plates do the work for me, pull me in towards my TUT tower as it starts to open up everything in the front of the hip there. And then maybe I'll slightly lean into it. And then I'm gonna push back my right leg, big inhale. And as I exhale, I let it pull me back towards the tower there, good. Hold it at the end range of motion there. Inhale, come away. And exhale, really let it pull the head of your femur right towards the front there, opening up all that sitting that we do. They say that sitting is the new smoking. You got your watch to remind you to get up, stand, and move around. Well, here's your reminder to not just move, but to stretch. So good for the body. I promise you, you're gonna be standing taller. One more time, big inhale. Good. Gently lean forward. Breathe into it. And push it away. And slowly make your way back to a standing position there. All right, shake out all of that tension we created in and around our hips here. We're just gonna bring the knee up and out, and we're gonna go back and forth here 5 times. You can feel that new range of motion. Up and around. 2 more. Another side. Here we go. Let's lift that left knee up. Open that up and bring it down. Then open it up and bring it back to the front. Good. This is just to shake it out. And you might start to draw the circle or the half moon there with your knee. Whoop, for 3, for 2, and 1. Our last one of the day here. All right, legs nice and wide. Big inhale, send the hips forward. We got both hips heading forward now. Exhale, forward fold. Getting to the backs of the legs, the hamstrings. Slight bend of the knee. Roll yourself back up. One more time. Big inhale. Send the hips forward. Exhale, forward fold. Slight bend in the knees. Slowly roll yourself up. And come back up to a standing position and shake it out. That is your recovery session, focusing on your hips, all right? Go have a great day, taking advantage of that newfound range of motion in those hips, all right? Join me next time. Again, I'm Coach Connor. This is your TUT training session. That was Recovery Hips. Until next time, stay under tension.